Hello, 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 hello. Did I turn the lights on? No, I didn't. Let me turn the lights on so I can actually see what's going on. How's everyone doing today? I hope you've all had a pretty good day. Hope you had a pretty good day. Hope everything's going good for y'all. Hopefully better than my day's been. Little guy is running like a 102 point something fever right now. It has not been a fun day. Less for him than me, but the poor little guy has been in cuddles and sick mode. So ergo, my day has been a write-off. Yay, parenting. How's everyone doing today? When I am in the UK. All righto, chap. You got some tea and crumpets to enjoy the show. Just finished our D&D. Did you beat the big bad evil guy? Did you roll some 20s? Hopefully you rolled some 20s. If the demons were exercised, let's find out. Because we swapped it out. We got a Pi 4 in here. I've got the new screen on the printer. And I did all the I did all the setup for all the software remotely. The joys of the internet, the joys of a home network. I came out here this morning. It was freakishly cold in the garage, so I installed the Raspberry Pi. I put the new SD card in there with the firmly flashed Pi OS Lite. I dug around and I found a longer, so we're not using the stupidly long cable. I found a shorter one, longer than this, but shorter than that downstairs, so I plugged that in. And then I went back inside, went into my computer room, and I SSH'd into the printer, and I did all the chow setup and everything remotely because it was cold out here. And then I came out here, I saw that clipper screen was on, and I went, cool. And then I copied the config files over so that the printer printers. And then, yeah, 209, I think it is. Okay, .209, yeah. So yeah, so clipper screen, as you can see, it's working now. Printer is online. Oh, look, it homes, it do the thing. Do the la la la. Triumph through perseverance. Yeah, you know what the best part is? Trixie was fine. I usually, remember how yesterday on the stream I flashed the second SD card? Because, oh, it's taking so long, maybe just in case there's an issue with the SD card, I'll flash a second SD card. I used that second SD card with Trixie, Linux Trixie or whatever the Pi OS version is. Yeah, it was fine, 0 issues. It just all booted up. Negative 20 auto. It is cold, even in here. I don't know where my, it fell, and I don't know where it went. I have a thermometer out here, and I don't know where it went. According to the Prusas, it's about 18 Celsius. According to the printers, it's about 18 Celsius, but that's the air temperature. We have the problem of the garage floor being cold in the winter. So, yeah, the floor I'm standing on is 8 degrees Celsius. The printers on the other side of the garage, the Venture XL is 12 degrees Celsius, so it could be worse. Just finished binge watching the second season of Fallout. It's nice. It's good, isn't it? I actually worked on the armor a little bit today. And then also, what else? I got this printed so we can install this guy, so we can actually get some proper inlet for the VVD. And then they have a new version of the VVD manual. So, again, for those watching at home, this is not a tutorial series. This is not a guide. We are setting up the BigTreeTech VVD in a setup that is off nominal. We are beta testing. We're testing stuff. So, ergo, you might have to, there might be some hiccups. It is what it is. Last time we tried this, it turned out the printer that we were installing it on was so out of date software-wise that it was getting random issues. So we were like, okay, fresh install of all the software. So I have 3 more episodes to go in season 2. The last 3 episodes are like, no, I think it's episode 7 is the filler episode. I can't remember. No Fallout spoilers. Government bad. So yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off the stream with a little tutorial. We're gonna take a side track because I saw this today. So, and we talked about this a little while ago. But there's an update. So remember how I'm so far behind it's crazy? We'll catch up. Catch up. Ever consider doing 3D scanning? Not really, because I don't really do 3D modeling. And the problem with 3D scanning, to be good at 3D scanning, you also have to be good at 3D modeling. And I don't do that. I have a 3D scanner. Revo Point, I think, sent me one years ago when they first started doing 3D scanners at the entry-level prices. Chat overlay is frozen. Oh. Rush cache. Okay. There we go. So what ended up happening was I could scan stuff. The problem is I can't take those scan files. Like I have to use like a program to make the meshes solid. And basically the problem is it's not something I would do. If literally it would be content. If I had a scanner, I'd make a video on how I use the scanner. We'd do a stream playing around with the scanner, and then it would sit in my closet and collect dust because I don't scan stuff. I don't. If you want that shit, go watch Grant. Go watch 3D Musketeer. He does that for a living. Coffee is delicious, by the way. So remember, a couple weeks ago, we watched this video where they were showing off because there was this, this is that Unitree robot you see all the influencers playing with. And it did this flip and everyone was super impressed. And then at CES, they had the Boston Dynamic robot and it did that flip. And everyone's like, oh, look how shitty the American robot is. The Chinese robot is superior because it landed a 3-point landing. Regardless, the American one did a 2-point landing. But look, it fell and it fell and it how could it ever be better? BD put out this video today. Yeah. 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 It's a big difference from a machine that actually can, learn versus a machine that just does canned routines and then can't catch up. If you thought those Unitree robots and those mass-produced humanoid robots coming out of China were anywhere near on the level of the big dog, of the Boston Dynamics robot, they're completely different types of machines. Also, those Unitree ones are like 3 feet tall. They're not that tall. It's all about the correcting. It's all about the self-correcting and the ability for them to adapt. Okay, so I guess we'll start with installing the VVD. So there is a new manual for the VVD. Let me pull it up here. So there is a new manual for the VVD. This is from yesterday or 2 days ago. So we're gonna follow the updated one. I think I saw the Black Mirror episode. I saw that too. It was called Terminator. Also, you know what? Somebody mentioned this. The Boston Dynamics robot, it has the lamp head. I like that. This is gonna sound really weird. I don't want us oh god, yay, speech impediment. Anthropomorphizing robots. We should not be putting, kawaii Dezu faces on these robots. I don't think we should be humanizing these robots. There's nothing to humanize about them. I want my robot to be a robot. I want the robot to be a robot. It should not, humans already have enough problems with uncanny valley. Stop trying to make uncanny valley a thing. That's why ChatGPT, some people can just automatically catch any Gen AI video because it's uncanny valley. There's just something off about it and it's hard to describe. But some people apparently, you just notice it because it triggers that uncanny valley reflex, which is funny because, and it's also like existential horror. Everyone knows, everyone has that uncanny valley reflex. When something that looks human but isn't quite, and it creeps you out, every human has that fear. So why do we have that fear? Is there something we don't know about? Is there, like, did something happen? It's like, you know, fear of heights, I understand. You know, we used to live in trees evolutionarily. Fear of snakes. Lots of animals are, cats are afraid of snakes. Why are we afraid of things that almost look like us, but not quite? It makes you think, don't it? Anyways. Okay, turn the printer off. Let's get the VVD hooked up. So, there is supposed to be a little inlet thingy for the back that you print that holds the buffer. And I modified it because I don't want the intake. I don't want the filter because we don't use the filter. So I just have it like blocked off. So we'll just use that. What ended up being the problem, chat? Pi 3. I literally, if I had done everything I did yesterday with a Pi 4 instead of a Pi 3, we wouldn't have had the problem. It was entirely related to it, Pi 3. I swapped it to a Pi 4, it worked just fine. So, I don't know. Abacus. Okay, I need some screws. Yeah, somebody's like, oh, the Pi 3 has issues with DSI cables sometimes, or DSI issues. And I'm like, okay. So we swapped it to a Pi 4 and now it works. So, uh-oh. We might have a problem here. Shit. Is that gonna fit? I forgot the back panel's held on with magnets. I forgot the back panel of this is held on with magnets. So that means when you push on it, it just falls because magnets are magnets. Okay, well, I mean, it'll be easier to do it this way then, at least. I've been seeing an uptick of Pi 3 and 3Bs having issues as of late. Wonder if they're getting too big. I mean, the Pi 3 is what, 2018? 2017, model Pi... Like, let's be honest, you probably should be using a Pi 4 nowadays. Like, Pi 3s probably are... I won't say they're EOL, but you probably should be wanting to run a Pi 4 nowadays. Like, Pi 3s are probably getting to the end of their life. Or actually, I won't say end of their life. They're getting old. They're getting old. That's deep enough, or we're going to run into issues. So, like, can you still buy Pi 3s? Do they still make Pi 3s? Or are they, like, gone? I think they still make Pi 3s. Also, don't forget, every stream, we give away a spool of polymaker filament. Link in the video description. Enter for your chance. Go down, do that now. Because at the end of stream, we're going to be doing our giveaway. And you want to win some filament, don't you? Don't you, Squidward? You want to win some filament, don't you, Squidward? Any word from David on what's going on now? Not up to me to discuss. Not up to me to discuss what's going on with all of that. That is not my wheelhouse at all. If they want to talk about it and mention about what's going on with that, that is entirely up to them. It is not my point, conjecture. It's not my place to discuss what is going on with personal things between a person and a company. It has nothing to do with me. So if they want to talk about it, they can do it. But I am not going to hypothesize. I'm not going to assume. It is not my place at all to that's not a topic I'm comfortable talking about. So what are we not talking about? Leadership change at printed solid. Okay, this is supposed to clamp on and it's not clamping on. I think I need to get some like this ain't gonna work. I need some foam, I think. This ain't fitting. Do I have any foam? I thought I had some foam still. Is it on the other side of the garage? Gasket? Do I still have some gasket? Why is it dark on this side? Oh, that's right. I don't have any lights on this side of the garage right now. Where is... foam? Well, this ain't gonna work. Yeah, because this is supposed to clamp on there, but that's not clamping on there. So I need to get something to fill that void. 1 second here. I might have to run downstairs and grab some foam. 1 second. I'm going to run downstairs and grab some foam because I don't think I have any up here. I could VHB it in place. I could VHB it in place. But we're better than that, right, class? We're better than that. Oh. If I heard anything I could talk about, if it would be public, it would be public. Like the fact that I think Tom's Hardware did an article on it. The fact that David is staying around as like a consultant in the interim period hopefully means there's no bad blood going on there, and it's kind of, you know, everything's kind of okay on that end. But again, this is not something, I don't know, it is what it is. I love how somebody on the last stream already left a comment. This should be a plug and play setup. And I'm like, oh, sweet summer child. Welcome to open source additive manufacturing. Super good. No, I just need to put something on so that we, because it's not really, the gap that this is supposed to sandwich on is not enough to actually sandwich on, so I got to bulk it up. So we're just using some foam here to make it a bit thicker, because we are down with the thickness. Yeah, if the Pi 5 is cheaper, go with the Pi 5. I don't think I have a Pi 5. I kind of want to get my hands on a CM5, just for the fact that I have like a 5-inch touchscreen that you attach the CM5 or the CM4, like you attach the CM5 or CM4 to the back of it. It'd be fun to make like a little cyber deck with it, just for shits and giggles. Because after playing a bunch of Cyberpunk, I kind of do want to make a little cyber deck just for fun. Problem is, every time like you go on Reddit/Cyberdeck and you look at all the ones, the problem is they're just impractical. It sucks when something is cool, but in real world actual use, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's like, oh, this would be really cool to have. Yeah, but you can't really type on it. You can't really do anything with it. The battery life sucks. The screens are tiny. It's like, what's the point? Oh, it looks cool. What would be... Okay, so this goes this way, right? Yeah. What would be like the most powerful, smallest computer you can get? Like, would it just be like trying to get your hands on like a Steam Deck PCB or something? Like motherboard, and using that as a base for something? That would actually probably work pretty cool. There. Any smartphone with Bluetooth keyboard? Yeah. Well, the problem with a smartphone, you're kind of limited to like Android, right? I'd be like, what would be the closest thing to like an actual like full-on computer that you could do? So, what is? Oh, I'm dumb. I bent the shit out of that. 1 second. Do on Twitch or stream? It'd be the whole point of the Twitch is one, play video games, and also do stuff that is like more unscripted, faffing around, messing around is kind of the whole point of the Twitch, right? Where it's like on this channel, on the YouTube channel, everything I kind of do is content meant to be watched like in the future, right? That's why I talk a lot. It's kind of meant to be also like a one-man podcast type of thing. But with the Twitch, it's like I could just go live, and if, you know, whatever happens, happens kind of thing. Okay, so I lost a bunch of these stupid cover plates because they all went flying because I'm a genius who pushed on a magnetic thing. You go there. You go there. You go there. Where's the ones that, did I lose some on the ground? I lost some on the ground. I don't know where they went. You go there. Yeah, I'll be honest. I am not a huge fan of the magnetic panel clips, because the problem with the magnetic ones, there's nothing to actually squeeze. They ain't got balls. They ain't got anything to actually like, they ain't got grip. They just kind of fall out a little too easy, I find. Okay. So we have that there. So now we got our VVD. We can put the VVD on top of the printer for now. Okay. Oh wait, no, I plugged the wrong, shit, I plugged the wrong thing in. Ah, no, that's supposed to go into that. Shoot, okay, I gotta take this back off. Great. Great, great, great. Maybe I can do this one at a time. Yep. Okay, you come out of there. This is going to be a bit annoying. You're going to go in there. You're going to go there. Okay, come on. There we go. There we go. Okay, you go there. You go there. How are you supposed to? Oh my God, that is gonna be tight. That is gonna be tight. Mobile. Okay. I know lighting is not great, but so this guy goes into here now. And then this is supposed to plug into there, but I'm gonna have to cut that. because there's not enough cable. Because there's a, oh, should I have, damn it, I did this backwards. I did it backwards. There's a nubbin on the cable on one side, but not on the other side. So you have to have the side that doesn't have the nubbin to come through here. So 1 second. Get magnets. I mean, never to use magnets again for panel holders. Never use magnets again for panel holders. Here in chat if you need me. Help me, Downward. You're my only hope. There we go. Okay. You go there. There you go there. You go in here. Now, need to plug this in. Plug it in, plug it in. They put these on the side. There we go. Should have put those clips on the back or something. There we go. That's input. And then output into this. And the top back. And then we take the one coming from the Raspberry Pi and that goes to input. There we go. Okay, note to self, print a bunch of clips to put on the back so I'm not relying on shitty magnets to hold everything from falling apart. Okay. You come to the front. And I can make you shorter. To clarify, not a CM5, but a BigTreeTech MAP. Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah, if you're doing this, don't use the you want to make sure this back panel is like secured. Okay. So there we go. If you want to see what the setup looks like from behind, for those curious at home, am I plugged in? Let me unplug this. Okay, so if you want to see what the setup looks like from behind, there we go. So we got the cable coming from the Raspberry Pi, goes to the input of the VVD, and then from the output of the VVD, it goes into the buffer. Okay. Now we got our two power cables. This printer will probably actually end up living here, and then this is going to go on the bench because the VVD really wants to be on the top of the printer. Because the further, like I was originally like, oh, I'll just put the VVD beside the printer. But the fact that you now need to run like the buffer from the VVD to the buffer has to be so long, or this has to be so long to make up for it, is a lot. Yeah. So this will probably end up going here, and then this will go on the shelf. And then also get a power outlet with two of these, like a splitter or a Y splitter. Otherwise, you're going to waste two sockets plugging this in, because you need to plug in the printer and the VVD. So we got that. We got that. Okay. Both on. Does it matter which order you turn them on? Like, do you have to turn them on at the same time? Because they're MCUs, right? right? They're MCUs. So do they got to turn on at the same time? I don't know. VVD to buffer being longer is a better option, is it? Well, I mean, in a case where it's like 2 meters, and it's going to be 2 meters regardless, having like, you know, half a meter of VVD to buffer and then 1.5 meters from buffer to toolhead is better than having like half a meter from buffer to toolhead and 1.5 meters. So if the length is consistent, if the length, overall length has to be the same, you're saying it is better to have the VVD to buffer being longer. Okay. So clipper won't start if you don't have them all in. Good point. Well, behold, we got touchscreen's being a little funky. I might need to get a better cable. The cable that I found is a little funky. Yeah. Okay, never mind. The touchscreen I thought was working. It's kind of working. Okay, I'm just gonna hope that's a bad cable. I don't want to be messing around with the screen today. We messed around with the screen enough. Hopefully it's just a bad cable. I'm ordering some better DSI cables because the ones I'm using are all used and beat to shit. To come out with a plug and play system, I hate trying to crimp those connectors. Well, I mean, what do you mean a plug and play system? Like for this, I haven't had to crimp anything for this. It's USB cables and plugs. Okay. Okay, to install the unit, so we install that, that's all installed. Bing, bang, bada, boom, connect the buffer to the toolhead. Look how short that is. That's nice and short. Power connectors, we did this. So this output cable connects to the other end of the buffer. Input, this connects to the host. There we go, that's good there. Well, to be fair, Chevron, this is part 1. It's just part 1, attempt 1 failed, because the printer we were installing on the firmware was so horribly out of date. We were having Python issues, so we said screw it. Part 2 wasn't really part 2. It was kind of a side quest where we updated the firmware on this printer and it didn't work. And then part B was off stream today, where I swapped out from a Pi 3 to a Pi 4 and reinstalled all the firmware on my own time. And then we're good there. So now technically we are on part 1 again. We're on part 1 again. How often do I? Well, apparently it's good to have a clipper screen on the printer because it makes like loading and unloading and actually using the VVD a lot simpler, because you're going to be standing in front of the printer swapping out all 4 colors and whatnot. So you want to have a screen for this. In normal use case, the only time I really use the screens on printers is to like heat them up or cool them down or to load and unload filament. That's usually about it. Okay, so we did that. Connect the cable with USB to the buffer. The Vivid operates on AC power. Cool, plug that in, plug it in. Once powered on, a red light indicator signifies that the software configuration is incomplete and that successful connection to Clipper has not been established. It's red, so it ain't working yet, which is what we expect. Okay, optional USB hubs, cool. So we have a USB splitter if you need it, and some ferrite cores if we need it. I don't know if we need them. If we run into issues, I will install them, but for now, we're leaving them off. Yeah. Okay, software time. So, CMD. SSH, pi, at, boom, bang. We're hacking the Gibson. Okay, CD. Cool. Git clone. Oh yeah. I don't know who made this manual, but like copying it from this manual is super annoying. You have to like make sure you click at the very beginning or it doesn't work. There we go. Okay. Oh. Go up top there. Install .sh. Install script. My first VVD setup took an hour between software, hardware, and calibration and location of purge wiper cutter. Nice. Okay. Okay, clipper version is that. Your clipper version is blank, not between blank and blank. 2 new version may not be suitable. As best to update clipper version. I confirm that this version is what? Yeah, sure. Does that look like the buffer? Yeah, that looks like the buffer. Yeah. Is this serial port? Yes. Installing cutter is crucial. Yes, I have a cutter. Installing an entry sensor in the toolhead board. Do I have one? Yes, I do. The purge is enabled. Yes. Clipper has been installed. Restart immediately. Yes. Installing clipper screen for Vivid. Yes. Clipper screen has been installed. Restart immediately. Yes. And now the printer is rebooting. I'm drinking coffee tonight because I need it. Clipper has encountered an error. Unknown pin chip, EBB can. Well, hey, on the bright side, we're not getting that stupid Python error anymore. So, small victories. You'll now have a new button on the left for clipper screen. Ooh, I see a VVD button. It's got a fancy graphic. You can't see it, but it's right there. Can you see it on this camera? No, because I don't have that camera on. Okay. So script installation. After that, you will need to enter setup. Yes, confirm or decline. Version check. Oh, I should probably read ahead while this did this. If serial ports module, yes, yes, yes. Restart clipper. Vivid clipper screen install. Version update. To upgrade the MMS in the future, run the following commands to update the system. So should I update now, or I don't think I need to. You just need to nominate the sensor pin in your tool headboard. Okay. Oh, for the cutter, for the filament runner and whatnot. Yeah. Yeah. So if you watch the first stream, everything kind of went to shit right away because we were getting Python errors because we were running like Buster as our operating system for Clipper. So that means like everything was just horribly out of date and we just started getting like errors. So we shouldn't be having that issue. So it should go a lot smoother today. Plus I have Down Under Maker here to bounce ideas off of if I get lost, and he's here to make sure I don't fuck this up too badly. Okay, to upgrade that, okay, so in the future, okay, so MMS software configuration, so configuration setup. If startup fails, you see start unable to connect to you, unable to connect to MMC buffer. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Configuration, okay, if your tool has an entry sensor installed approximately 515 gears, uncomment the section and put the correct pin in. Okay, so we need to go to mms.cfg. So mms.cfg. Okay, and now Jabberwocky Toolhead GitHub. So here's the fun part. I can't remember which pin is what in the Jabberwocky. Because we installed end stops, sample config, because this is the Nighthawk 36 toolhead. And this is what I mean, like when you are doing a DIY self-built printer and whatnot, you're always going to run into this kind of thing, because it's like, I'm using a Nighthawk 36 toolhead board. If you're using like an EBB 36 Gen 2, like I'm using on my Venture XL, you're going to have completely different pins. So you're pretty much always going to have this. When you're doing clipper stuff with new stuff, you're just going to have a bunch of tabs open with a bunch of different thingamabobs, and you're just going to be like, what is plugged in where? I don't know. What's the pin? Okay. I can't read this. Do I need better glasses? There we go. Okay, so entry sensor pin. So this is the pin that's above the end stop. So MMS buffer, MMS device name outlet, entry sensor. Okay, so on this one, it is, which one did I plug it into? Oh, we got our tool heads. Wait, why are you? Okay, my motors are enabled. Why are my motors enabled? Why are my motors enabled? Why are my motors enabled? That shouldn't happen. Okay, anyways, I'll just walk around. Okay, part fan 1. Are these labeled? Yeah, bottom. Okay, so top sensor is the top sensor. Okay. So the top sensor is plugged into here. So this is GPIO 3. So this is actually, shoot, one second. Is it NHK? Yeah, NHK. Yeah. NHK GPIO 3. Okay. The VVD has motors. Yeah, but like my motors are engaged. Like Clipper is errored out. The motor should not be engaged yet, unless something overwrites that with the VVD system. Okay, so we did that. This sensor is critical for filament switching. Without it, the MMS software must estimate filament position using the buffer sensor alone, which will reduce reliability. Okay, the filament cutter. So, so now we need to go to, is there an output sensor too? There's an entry sensor. Is there an exit sensor? I guess not, eh? I guess there's just an entry sensor. Okay. Yes, the moment the VVD enables, it homes. Okay. Okay, so save that. So next we go to cutter configuration. So MMS cut. Where's that at? Config, BigTreeTech MSS, base, MMS cut. Base, MMS cut. Okay, so center cut point, starting position of the cut path. So to cut, we need to go to max. We need to go to X, 0, Y, 0. So 0, 0 is cut. So cutting direction. So enable cut, Z raise, cut speed. Okay, so center and okay, so starting positioning of the cutting path. So for this, I would put like X 25, Y 0. So X 25, Y 0. And then it would just be 0, 0. So that's X, Y. Yeah, so I like how they give you a map here. So 0 goes here and then there. So I'm basically telling it when it goes to do a cut, go to here first and then go to there. Cool. Okay. So save that. Hopefully that works. You may have to fiddle with it because you don't want to over travel, because if you over travel, you risk skipping a step and then your machine is no longer homed. So that means every cut after that, everything's going to be shifted. So make sure you don't over travel with your cut. That would be bad. Sorry for spam you spilled on your keyboard. That's not spam. Okay, so that is good there. Is my analytics anyways, there we go. Okay. So that Smart's Filament Matrix and A4T toolhead. Oh no, I'm using a Jabberwocky toolhead, which isn't officially supported. Oh no! Okay. Purge configuration, okay. So purge configuration, MMS uses purge configuration to purge residual filament after loading. So, is this if you have a purge bucket? Is this if you have a purge bucket? I'm assuming down under. And since I'm not using a purge bucket, I have to purge to a purge block, I'm assuming. Did you just put a bunch of spam? What is that spam? Is this a spam emoji? Spam? There is a spam emoji. Huh. That's cool. Anyways, okay. Just make it poop out the back of the bed if you don't have a solution yet. Okay. Oh, just like purge into nothingness? Okay. Yeah, because I don't have like a little purge tray or something. Okay, so purge. So yeah, okay, so let's go to the purge section. So MMS purge.cfe. Okay, so save that, close that. Purge! Okay. So MMS purge enable, fan cool speed, purge speed, sure, whatever. Length. That's what she said. So I'm assuming I can leave like the default values pretty much the same for now. Filament length, purge modifier. Yeah. Okay. So and I don't have a brush. So for this, I can just put whatever. So we'll just purge at like at the back of the bed, I guess. So yeah, 100, 300, whatever. We'll just poop in the back of the machine. Right about here looks like a good poop point. We don't have. I do want to get BigTreeTech has this fancy little purge thing. I think I seen them. I can't remember if they had it at one of the shows. If not, I'll just print a purge bucket, a poop bucket or something. But for now, we're just trying to get everything kind of set up. After watching the first night of the 17th, I'm going to print a purge in the same way again. I've heard good things about that show. I am very, very hesitant to watch anything Game of Thrones related, but I've heard really good things about Night of the Seven Kingdoms. The other series they're doing, yeah, I'm not, whatever. But the fact that Night of the Seven Kingdoms is based on short stories and they're just short contained little like books. Hopefully they don't just try to make their own shit. They can just make a little season here and two of like side story shit. Because it's like Star Wars for me. I love the Star Wars universe, but I'm not liking a lot of the movies and content they're making in that universe right now. So it's like the Game of Thrones universe is an interesting universe to do stuff set in. It's basically D&D without without magic. You know, there is kind of magic. So just having like little stories told within the universe, I'm pretty okay with. So we'll see. I'll wait for it to end, or at least wait for the season to end. But okay, so we did that. Eject point parameter is attended for that. Okay, whatever. So So axis first, Y, sure, whatever. Eject point, don't need that. MMS brush. I don't have a brush, so we will just tell it to do there we go. It's gonna purge here, and then it's gonna go over here and just kind of go do do do, which will give me a chance to grab it. Just disable the brush. I don't want to disable the brush because it's in here, and I don't know if something references that, and then if I comment it out, it'll error out. Just checking. Did you give it a cut? A 30mm run up. Where would that be? Where was that I was supposed to look at? Orphan cut filament length. Just checking, did you give the cut 30mm run up? Orphan cut filament, it says 60. Color distance, that's the only cut I see. Brushing makes a big difference. I know, I'll get a brush and a poop chute made up because we're gonna have to mount something on the back extrusion here. So it's something we'll have to figure out. But for now, we're just trying to make the system work. I just want to get this doing stuff. That makes sense. Before we tweak that. So for the 30mm, you said for the cut, just checking, did you give the cut a 30mm run up? Is this right here? Should be 30 instead of 60? Is this what you're referring to? So the start point in the cutting run needs about 30mm to run up before cutting the stop point. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. The cut. I think I did 25. I'll change it to 30. 30. There we go. There we go. For the cut. Okay. Okay, so we did that. Brush configuration. So the brush, I just kind of put whatever. Motion parameter configuration. Okay, if filament moves smoothly during testing, but you observe the drive gear is severely grinding or chewing into the filament, this usually indicates that the extrusion force is too high and the drive acceleration is slow. Please change those values. So I'll leave these at default for now. So we're good there. Okay, there's the logic. Isn't Clipper great? The fact that it has like logic. I love Clipper. Okay. So for ease of understanding, the vivid filament path can be simplified as buffer, gate sensor, entry sensor, extruder nozzle. Well, the run up is set to 25. What do you mean? There is no run up. There's cut point, end point. Yeah, this is MMS cut. Okay. Load process. Are we ready to load filament to charge? Dude, I can hear the wind out there. We're supposed to have like crazy, like it's supposed to be cold out there tonight. What temperature is it outside right now? It says it's -9. Feels like -17. Oh yeah, it's gonna be cold tonight. Charge, worry about later, okay. So we can skip all this, console commands. MMS load, fault detection, filament loading. Okay, so filament loading to the buffer, sweet. So let's save and restart. See if we actually get it booting up. Failed automate reset of MCU. Restart method command. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got new colors. It did colors. Oh, we got Archimba. We got Archimba. So let's see here. So case light, turn my light on. Oh yeah, bright light. We got the light on. Home all. We can even turn on the Vivid dryer. Although I probably shouldn't run the dryer while it's on the top panel. I'm gonna have to put a bar across the top here for support. Do I have a bar that will fit across the top of that? Or am I gonna have to cut something? I'll probably have to cut something. By default, there is no automatic selection of which channel you are loading. You need to do that in the clipper screen. Okay. So it's a good thing my clipper screen doesn't want to work. I think I got a bad DSI cable. Yeah, because my... Oh. Oh, look, we got the... So, do I need to calibrate the VVD? Filament loading. Cable might just need reseating, yeah. I'm wondering, is coldness affect these things? Does being cold affect touchscreens? Actually, I don't think it does because it doesn't affect any of the other screens. Okay. So let me just move you up. Okay, move that to there. Okay. So can I just put filament in it now? Loading filament to buffer. Using clipper screen VVD adapted version. On the clipper screen, tap the corresponding slot to enter the filament management interface. Tap the preload button. Okay, so let me... Okay. I got a bad touchscreen. After all that, the touchscreen doesn't want to work. Shit. Can you just do this on... Can we preload on this? Yeah, I can just preload. Okay, MMU slot 0. I'll just do it on this. No, I took the sticker off. I took the sticker off. The cable I'm using, like, I found in the bottom of a bin, so the cable might be a little borked. So I've actually ordered some new DSI cables, but they won't be until next week, unfortunately. So we'll just do this. So let me grab a spool of filament. Will it start preloading the moment I load it in, or do I have to like do anything funky here? Like, will it just start sucking it down, or do I gotta do anything? Here we go. Silk purple PLA, why not? Sure. I've seen the touchscreen with touch. Well, you would think that, but like, it's working, but only in like this little area of the screen. So it's like, but it's not working when you hit it twice. See what I mean? PLA. Purple. Dang it, I'm gonna have to try a different screen. You know what? You know what? This is gonna be annoying because taking the printer off now is, like, flipping this printer over to work on is annoying because now I got the VVD on it. Oh, that's not an FPC, that's a HDMI and USB screen. Damn it. Calibrate. Got any ambrosia? I do, but it's ABS. Okay, so we're gonna load some polymaker Polylite PLA. We're just gonna load using this. Let's use the screen, and I'll swap the cable. I'm hoping it's just a bad cable, because like the screen is working, and it's only like one little area of the touchscreen isn't working. So I'm assuming it just means a bad cable. I'm looking for a step stool, by the way. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm looking for a step stool. I don't know where I put my step stool. Where did I put my step stool? Oh, it's over here. There we go. Because I need to rise to the occasion. Get it? Guys, I'm so high right now. I'm so high right now. Oh, the light turned green. It turned green. Cut a slight angle and then manually straighten the first 7 centimeters of filament to make sure it doesn't get caught up. Okay, well, it's a fresh spool, and I did cut a slight angle, so put that in the hole. Look, green. Okay. So preload. So I'm assuming on here, MMS preload. Send. Oh. Okay. It's preloaded. Okay, let me load another spool. In this case, we're going to use some Buddy 3D. The sensor knows. The sensor knows where the filament's at. By knowing where the filament's not at, it knows where it's at. Okay, this one can go in really far. Okay, let's just put in a little bit. Slot 1, send. Okay, stop. Oh, I see what you mean. I pulled it out most of the way. It was only in a little bit when I hit start. It was only in a little bit when I hit start. Gotta select lane first. Okay, so 2. So let me grab another spool. Let's grab one more. Do I have a red? Do I have a red? What are you? PLA black. Re. Never figure out where the stupid start and end is on this thing. There it is. Okay. Don't you have both spools at slot 1? No. Slot 0, slot 1. It's a computer. Computer start at 0. There is no slot. Slot 0 is slot 0. Computer start at 0. Okay, so slot 2, preload, send. There we go. Okay. And now I need one more color. I need one more color. So slot 3. I need one more color. What color are we going to use? What color are we going to use? I need to get more PLA out here. You're ABS. You're all ABS. It's all ABS out here. Where are you? You're PLA. You'll work. You'll work. Okay. So slot 3, send. Okay. There we go. I will say it is a little on the loud side. It is a little on the loud side. But I don't know if that's just like a break-in period or what. But so let's see. So we preloaded. So everything is preloaded. Loading filament to the tool head extruder. Okay. Seems perfectly quiet. Unloading filament to the buffer. Unloading. So can I do a test print right now? Like, could I do a test print right now if I wanted to? Once the user has gained sufficient familiarity, heat the nozzle and home again. Okay, let's heat the nozzle. And home it. Automatic. Once the user has gained sufficient familiarity with the operating principles of Vivid, they may enable automatic filament loader for greater convenience. Oh, so you can enable this so that will be, because right now I had to manually load it, but I could have it just automatically suck the filament in when it fills, because I'm assuming there's an end stop here, so it'll just suck it in once you start it going. That'll be nice. Took you a moment there. Okay, so let's move that up. Okay. Do I need to do anything funky to make a profile for this? Do I need to do anything funky to make a profile for this? Filament auto continue. Because any residual filament loading must be purged. Once the temp, type T0. Okay, well, let's go to 220. Oh, load the function. Yeah, test it. Yeah, good point. Good point. So I could just hit T0 here, right? I don't have to type it in. I could just hit T0. Okay, so we're at 220, so T0. Ooh. Okay, so it moves to its purge location. Okay, it's loading filament in. Oh! Oh. Okay. Oh, it is struggle busing. It was purging way too much. Okay, maybe the purge rate is a little too much. Oh, and see, it did its little wipey wipe. Okay. Our first poop. Our first vivid poop. Look how vivid this poop is. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey, Poo. It pooped. Okay. From here on, it gets complex and can need a lot of frustrating calibration sometimes. I mean, it pooped. That's all I need. I just need it to poop. Okay, so... Orca slicer configuration. Okay, so I'm assuming if I wanted to, how would I test swapping from, I want to basically make sure that this whole operation is working now. So I got to test a cut and a swap. Right? So what would happen if I were to hit T1 right now? If I were to hit T1 right now, would it know that filament is loaded? Just type T1. Okay, T1. Okay, T1. Where are you going? T1 failed. Eject fail, pause print. T1 failed, eject fail, pause print. The cut looked weird. It did look weird. It did look weird. 1 second. I'm wondering if I over-traveled. I'm wondering if I over-traveled. No, I'm wondering if I over-traveled. No, it would have cut it either way. Yeah, it would have cut it either way. Press the cut lever manually. Yeah, it's free now. Like there ain't nothing there. Well, I just want to double check the cut. I told it to home, and because I told it to home, it's got to wait for the hot end to cool down to 150. No, when I manually did that, there is no resistance there. That is loosey goosey. There we go. I can see the filament in the tube. Okay, let's try this again. So let me heat this back up to 220. So X0, Y30. Oh, G1, X0, Y30. X0, Y30. Oh wait, I did the wrong way. I did the wrong way. I did the wrong way. G1, X30, Y0. There we go. So G1, X0, Y0. Okay, yeah, the cut should be fine. Yeah, that cut should be fine. That should be fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's try T1 again. Okay. Okay, now it's taking it out. The retractable force sensing might not be long enough. Okay, where would I change that value? See your previous? Yeah, I see that, the retractable force sensing. Where would that be in here? Oh, it's pooping. Look at it poop. Jiggle that poop off. It didn't jiggle the poop off. There we go. I'm not home to check yet. So let me, I'm assuming that would be in MMS. Spool detection enabled, back up. There's a sensor. Filament runout detection. Chamber heating. Okay. Vivid workflow, eject check, unload decision. Otherwise, if neither sensor. Hiding being in chat from people are out with. Oh. Wait, are you at a social event and you are watching my stream at a social event? Okay, I'm assuming it's at MMS Purge, no? There's the cutter. I mean, here, let's just try it again. Let's go back to, let's try T3, see how that goes, or T2. So let's, T2, okay. So cut. Oh, there we go, it's working. There we go. I'm wondering if it was because it was the very first time doing it. If it just like it wasn't lined up properly, like it needed that first break in. Maybe that's what it was. I will say the purge is too fast. This poor hot end is not keeping up with the purge. You can hear it go duh, 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 duh. And do the wiggle wiggle. Wiggle wiggle. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's try T1 again, because that was the one that it broke on, right? Or let's go back to T0. Go back to T0. Okay. Go up there. Okay, it didn't cut it that time. T0. Try again. No, it did cut it. It just didn't. There's a tip on that. I don't think it cut that right or something, because there's a tip on that. You slow your purge down. Yeah, let me see here. Where's purge speed? Drop that down a bit. Oh. Yeah, something ain't right here. Something ain't right here. Okay, it's feeding filament down. No. Uh-oh. I goofed. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Stop! 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 Turn it back on. Okay, let's try this again. Thumb's just coming out. It's like, ah! No, what's happening is I think the end stop isn't, for some reason, it's not cutting it properly. Something's up with the cutter. Okay. Home all. Now, does it know something's loaded in that slot already? I'm assuming it does, because there's a green light on it, a purple light on it. So it knows something's in that slot. So let's see. So I'm going to heat it back up. We'll try again. Don't forget, hey, if you haven't entered yet, every stream we give away a spool of polymaker filament. Link in the video description. Enter for your chance. We're going to be doing that giveaway at the end of the stream. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, ring the bell, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And hey, if you want to help support the channel, the content I create, and the things I do, consider becoming a channel member, Patreon supporter, or if you're really cool, gifting memberships to others. Okay, let's try T1. Okay. So unload. So it knows something's in there. Oh. You didn't wind up. Okay. A buffer has a sensor in it, so it knows when the filament is in there. Okay. It pooping! It pooping! I think I've said poop on this stream more than any stream since I had a bamboo. Okay. So that is that. So let's try T3. Let's try T3. Okay, so cut. Okay, so it cut the filament. We're good. Okay. Okay, so it's swapping that out. Had to step away. We're trying to figure out, it's sometimes not cutting the filament, and I'm trying to figure out why. I'm wondering if it could just be, it seems to be having issues with T0, which is a silk filament. So we'll see. Maybe silk filament's just cursed. I mean, it kind of is. It's gummy. I don't like silk filaments, to be honest. I just grabbed it because it's purple and it's PLA. Mark poops. Okay, let's go back to T1 now. So cut the filament. Okay. It's stalling out. That's what it is. So that's what it's doing. It's not cutting it. It's like erroring out. Try T1 again. So watch. Okay, it worked there. Okay. Yeah, it's not cutting it. That's what it's doing. It's like, maybe? Yeah, I'm up in the motor amps. Stepper X. Stepper Y. And this means we are running on, we don't have stealth chop, right? We're on spread cycle if that's 0. Can you have it cut twice? Can you tell it to cut twice? Well, the problem is I think it's skipping a step. I think it's skipping a step because it's not moving all the way in. This means it's on spread cycle, right? We're not doing stealth chop at all? Or is this? I can never remember which. You would think I would remember by now. Freaking 6 years of doing this shit. I would remember. Zero means on. Okay, so we'll go 9. Because we don't want stealth chop. I want this shit being loud and powerful. Okay. Save and restart. Okay. Can you do it? Tell it to do 2 cuts. If you don't mention it in this thing, it's not used at all. Oh. Really? X. Y. Save. Okay, let's see. BigTreeTech MMS. MMS. No, not. Base. Cut. Can you tell it? Z raise, cut speed. Let's drop the speed a bit. Let's drop the speed a bit. See if that helps. There we go. Save and restart. Okay. So we've given it more juice for the X motors, and we're going to cut a little bit slower, because like the whole goal of this is this needs to be reliable. And again, this is something you're going to have to tune for your machine. If you're running this on some beefcake printer with NEMA 23s, you can just slam that shit into the wall. It probably won't care. But like, you're going to have to figure out what works best for your setup and use that. So. Do I run TMC auto tune? I've never done TMC auto tune. Because I don't run my printers in a room where I'm in, I literally just set them for like beefcake mode and leave them. I don't bother tuning them. I just go as much juice as they can run without them overheating and stealth chop off and just send it. What's the MSRP? You'll have to check BigTreeTech's site. So this is where the time to fiddle every step of the time. Yeah. Okay, so we are hot. So let's load T0, which is the one that's been giving us trouble. Okay. Okay, cut. There we go. So I heard that cut. Okay, that did cut. So yeah, I think slowing it down and giving the motors a bit more juice helped. I would get this just for filament rollover. That is a very valid use case. Like, I'll be honest, I'm tempted, like for the Venture XL, I'm going with boosters, but if I wasn't going with boosters, I would be very tempted to make like a 2 or 3 unit box turtle designed to fit the big 3 kilogram spools and use it just for rollover. Poop, 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 poop. There we go. It's pooping. And that extruder is skipping like crazy. There we go. Okay. So this is the one that it always fails on. So let's go back. Let's do T3 or T2. Okay. So cut it. Okay, we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. Because now this was not working before, now it's working. Okay, now go to T3. There it goes. Okay, so where is the setting to change the speed for purge? Because it is purging way too fast. That's retract speed. Actually, no, we played with retract. Where's priming speed? Is this it? Is this the setting I need to drop? Or no, this one, pulse speed. This is the one, I think. Up a little is purge modifier. Oh, here's purge speed. Okay. Here's purge speed. There we go. So if I drop this, we'll drop that to 400. 400 there. Okay, what is pulse speed? I don't know. Whatever, I'll just leave that. Save. Save and restart. There we go. Okay, are we gonna try a print? Are we gonna just try one of those little simple 4-color caliber? Somebody link me just a quick like print in the Discord, a quick 4-color print or something. Let's get Orca Slicer set up for this. Let's just YOLO it. Uh-oh. Where's my maker coin? My maker coin isn't really one. I mean, it's a 5-color maker coin, and I don't have the STL saved anywhere. So It sucks. I have one printer with the G code to make my maker coin on it, and I just have to use that over and over because I don't have the actual STL for my maker coin. And it's a maker chip. We don't do coins around here. Okay, orca slicer. And then they have settings in here you have to enable, I think. The final tree file isn't done, but there's a plan to restructure the files to have stuff people need easy to find in the hardcore stuff deeper in the tree. Oh, in the instruction manual? Yeah, it'd be nice, like, there'd be a getting started section that basically is just the basics to get you from the time you take it out of the box to the time you're doing a test print. And then, like, in that section, if you run into an error, check out this section of the troubleshooting section. If this doesn't work, run into here. If you get this error, go down there. But just have the getting started guide up top, and then the bottom be like, hey, shit's broke. Zam, fuck it. So, what do you mean T1 is in trouble? What do you mean T1? T1's fine. It's loaded. T1's not in trouble. Okay, so let's go down to automatic filament loading, run out, no, there we go. Okay, so as an example, to adjust slicer setting, okay, so orchestrator, prepare. So we got this, so this is our printer. So now we need to add 4 colors. We're gonna just tell it all oh, this one's silk. We'll call this one silk. Did they not have silk as an option? Okay, whatever, whatever, sunloose silk, whatever. This is that, so that is purple. Number 2 is bleu. Bleu. Number 3 is black. That's red. Have you got your hearing protection ready? Because you can try the dryer for giggles. I mean, we could try the dryer. Yeah, I'm turning that shit off. I don't want to run the dryer while it's on a plastic sheet. This is a little on the noisy side. There's a lot of gears in a system like this. It is what it is. It is what it is. This is a garage printer. This is a garage printer. Or what you could do is you can build a nice sound box to put this in. Okay, so whether you're using MMS or Happy Hair, the filament change logic already includes filament ramming sections. Okay, so we need to disable that. So that would be in multi-material. Zero. Should I have these all 0? So all these should be 0 then. 0, 0, 0. So turn off ramming and all these 0. Because all the logic is already in the system. Right? Okay, so enable 1. Okay. Okay. We're going to call this B2.4 with, B2.4 MMS. There we go. Save. Okay. G-code estimation, enable. You just enable white tower. And that's a multi-material. Enable that. Okay. Purge length, flushing volumes. We'll just leave those default. Yeah, we'll just leave those default. Okay. We need to print something. Touchscreen calibration method. Oh yeah, I'll play around with the touchscreen. Okay, so printables. I need a wipe tower allows you to change the purge volume. Yeah. Okay. So multicolor. I don't know what I need a multicolor print test. Multicolor test print. I need a multicolor test print. Who has a good multicolor test print? AMS test? No. I need a 4-color test print. Test print MMU. Well, it's popular. I am flipping cold. I am flipping cold. Should we try a benchy? Do a stupid 4-color benchy. YOLO. Oh wait, that's all G code. Never mind. I hate when you 4 cubes. Is there one in the slicer? Add handy model. I don't see 4 cube. Stanford bunny. What's a Stanford bunny? Oh. What's the Autodesk one? Oh. I don't want to print anything too big because we only have an hour. So I was thinking just like a test print. Yeah, but I want to do something that won't take forever. Oh gosh. MMU test. There we go. That work. What the fuck is this? Is there a way just to download the whole damn thing and paint it? I don't know. There we go. It's a 3-hour print, so. Okay. So it already has filament loaded in it. So we'll see how it handles the logic of dealing with filament already loaded. Shrink it. The thing is, it's not going to matter how big the print is because the stupid, here, let's go down to 75%, 75%. Oop. Because it's still going to take all the time to do the filament swaps. Yeah, dropping it down to 75% only saves like half an hour on a 3-hour print. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of purge. Yeah, let's cancel. Let's cancel. Let's cancel. Yeah. Man, all the fans kick on when you hit that. I was just looking for a quick test one, like 4 colors or something. You'd think there'd be more, most popular, new, what's new? This is why I asked you guys to send me one. Like, hey, what do you want me to print? Post it in the Discord. Here we go, 4 color test print, there you go. Download. Download, 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 download. There we go. This tests everything. Delete that. Bing, bang, boom. Yes. Okay. Okay. Slice. Make it a bit bigger. Okay. Import G-code file. Save. Okay. Upload and print. There we go. Let's see what happens. Is there a box turtle test print? Can you link it? If there's like an official box turtle test print. Look at all just poops. So, if anyone has any suggestions for like a purge bucket and brush setup for V2, let me know. Link it in the Discord. You don't have to do it tonight, but we're obviously going to have to add a purge bucket of some sort and a brush to this somehow. And I got to figure out where to put that, how to mount that, and all that jazz. So that is something we're going to have to figure out. So. The belt purge. I'm a big fan of keep it simple, stupid. I'm a big fan of keep it simple. I don't want to be building no conveyor belt thingamabobber. AT brush. Just link it in the Discord, we'll take a look at. I'm hoping this works pretty good. Because I'll be honest, that went a lot smoother than I thought it would. I'll be honest, that went a lot smoother than I thought it would. That went a lot smoother than I thought it would. See, this is what happens when you have your printer properly configured and set up before you start fapping around with new shit. You know what time it is? Other than me being frigid cold in here time. If I'm going to be cold, I might as well be drunk. Give me beer. Give me beer. Brr. My coffee is freezing. Beer time? I mean, forget poop shoots, use a vacuum. You could do something like that with like a fan to like just kind of yeet it out. That would be kind of cool. So we're gonna have to play around with the print start logic because for some reason it wants to heat it up to 220 and then it drops it down to 150. So we're gonna have to play around with some logic here. Poke him if you got him. This heater is doing jack shit right now. It is frigid in this garage right now. Texture cord, I posted two options, okay. The blobifier, magnetic nozzle cleaner, okay. The bamboo brush, okay. Thing is, I don't know if I have enough room in the back for that because this mounts it a little bit far forward. Crap catcher. Oh, you just put it on the side there. I'm realizing this bed is not mount, or that flex plate is nowhere near mounted correctly on this bed right now. Does the oscillating? It does a little bit. Like having this move back and forth does help a little bit because it spreads the heat out more evenly instead of it just like being in one area. One day I'll make this go faster. Also, do you guys want me to reach out and see if I can get one of these PC kits and build it? I kind of want to. It's a little big. I'm assuming the power supply in this is mounted in the bottom. And then, what does he have up here? A water cooling system? I don't know. Does it come with fans? That's the question. Can you afford the RAM? I would rebuild my main computer in it. I would probably rebuild my main computer in it. More than anything. Like, here, let me... It's a shame you needed to extend the front. Oh. It's purging. What's it doing? It's pooping. Look at all that poop. Poop, poop, poop. Why is it pooping so much? Okay. Poopy. Look at all that poopy. Was there a prime tower? No, there is a prime tower. It's just... Alright. I don't know what it's doing. Okay, now we're going to purple. Poop now. Oh, that's a lot of poop. Oh, that's a mess. It's pooping right on the bed. Hopefully I can grab it. Yeah. There we go. Okay, note to self. I'm gonna have to raise the poop up. Okay, now it's doing the prime tower. So I guess because it started with that color, it didn't need to purge it? I don't know. Doubt it remembers. It doesn't remember what color it's last, but it... What do you mean I lost the tower? No, it's doing the tower right now. It just, for some reason, started with black and skipped the tower. Is that the light? I think it's just the light you're seeing. Yeah, you can't really... I mean, here, let me turn the nozzle light off so you guys can see a bit better. Act light? Is that the light? How do I turn the nozzle light off? Do I even... Oh, I don't even know... Off. No. Off. There we go. Oop. Oh, that don't sound healthy. Yep. Failed. Purple failed again. Shoot. Can you just hit... Okay, let's try T1 again. Oh, it's... Yeah, the cutter was sticking. I saw that. It didn't really cut the purple right. I'm not liking the purple filament. We might, if it does it again, I'm gonna it's not liking the purple filament. The purple filament is not cutting well. Also, I'm pretty sure we, okay. So that's good there. I'm pretty sure we skipped a step. Or yeah. Okay, let me home X. Just in case we home Y. Okay, resume. I don't know what it's doing. Purging. Yeah, I gotta fix the purge spot. I gotta move the purge back more because it's purging on the bed and just making a giant ugly mess. Okay. Collecting all the poops. Yeah, what I did was I basically just told it to redo T1 and then just hit resume. Okay. Okay, so let me see here. Machine, MS cut. Okay, actually, what I gotta go up, printer, Y. Where is max Y? Y max 305. So I gotta change. $305. There we go. Because right now it's purging right at the edge of the bed, and I don't want that. So I gotta like go in here every time and fix it. If it does it again with this color again, I'm gonna stop the print, we'll change it to another color, and then we'll try again. Looks something like the macro's the same. The macro, B-Dog, it doesn't matter which tool it is because it's loading the same parameters every time. I'm thinking it's the filament. It's just the silk, the Polylite silk PLA is just doesn't like getting cut. And I think it's like jamming it up or something. Because everything else seems to like cutting just fine. Yeah, silk is just gummy. Like, I just grabbed it because it was purple, and everyone likes purple. It's likely a dent in the filament where the drive has stripped the silk. Then why isn't it cutting? Because what it's doing, it's actually it's not cutting, it's skipping a step. When it fails the cut, it's actually skipping back a step. It's actually causing a layer shift when it fails to cut. Because the whole thing shifts back a little bit. So it's stalling. It's literally stalling during the cut, and it's like crashing. It's not cutting, it's crashing. So if it does it again, I'll swap out to this spool of filament. That PLA? That's PLA. Galaxy Purple. Should have used that one first. Also, it is slow because we're using all default values and settings. But look! We have a 4-color print technically. Yep, I bumped up the current to 1.2 amps for the X and Y, and made sure spread cycle is off, or spread cycle is on. This is also one of the reasons, oh, here we go. Yeah, see, that worked fine. This is also one of the reasons I wanted mechanical end stops, because if you have to rehome during a print, because, oh, it jammed up and it caused a layer shift because it crashed during a filament swap, you could just rehome X and Y, tell it to change the color, and move on and hit resume. If it layer shifts and you don't have mechanical end stops, you're relying on sensorless end stops, which aren't as accurate. So when you go to resume, you'll probably still have a layer shift. It won't be as accurate. Okay, so now we're doing purple, which is the cursed color. Yeah, it's cursed. I can see it. There's a bunch of strings on the end. It didn't cut it. It didn't cut it. So it's probably like loading chunks of it instead of a cut chunk of it. It's loading boogers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're ending this. Okay, we're gonna unload this, and we are gonna load a different filament, and we're gonna try again. So, is my tool? Where is? Yeah, you'll work. Oh, I want my good tool. Okay. How do I unload? Load MMS eject the slot. So it should eject whatever is loaded, right? Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's get you out of here. You're cursed. MMS preload, slot 0. Send. Yep. All right, home X, get you out of there. Where's my good spatula? What's my good one? Okay. Let me just double check. MMS purge. No, that's not what did I change? What was the value I changed last time? Oh, purge, yeah, location. 305, okay. Dashboard. Let's try this again. Print. Okay. I'll be back in a second. I gotta go to the washroom. You guys watch this. If it burns down, Yell. I'll be back in 1 second. I'm back. What'd I miss? Why y'all screaming? What if we smell smoke? As long as you don't smell toast. If you smell toast, you have a problem. It is cold out here. It is cold. My feetsies are cold. Waiting for the bed to heat up. Turn on all the beds. Can you change the speed of the cut motion to improve the odds of getting through the filament? We did already drop it from 2,000 to 1,500. And whatever, I'm assuming that's millimeters per minute or something like that, whatever, millimeters per second. So we've already dropped it. I'm tempted to see. The thing is, I don't want to change too much at first because I want to see where the failure points are. Like I could run everything super slow and reliably, but it's like it's not moving that fast. So I think it's more just the filament itself is just like. Grab my knife. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 1 second. I mean, this is ABS, not PLA, but. Oh yeah. That filament is so hard to cut. That's like cutting like a stick of carbon fiber. No wonder why I was having trouble. This filament just does not like being sheared. It's almost like you want the blade to not be flat. The blade that does the cutting is flat. It's almost like you want it to be on have a tapered edge, so it slices instead of trying to shear it. But I don't know if anyone makes little blades like that. You like have to custom make them or something. You can see it lifting when it cuts. I could see that being an issue, but it would trigger a home. Okay, it's loading the black. Because it's only the one color causing the issue, so I'm pretty sure it was that filament. Gave the time had the time to get up to speed. Should it be going fast for the cut or going slow for the cut? Make it a V. Well, the problem is you have to find somebody who makes the blade and use that. I don't make blades. I love it. You gotta love the internet. Or chat. Hey, should I be moving fast or slow? Fast. Slow. Oh yeah, it's still not doing a purge line. I gotta tell it to do that. Okay, that is a... There we go. So that cut. Is there a way to print a part as a mold? Like you want to make, yeah, you can print like negatives to make a mold if you wanted to. Slower, more torque? I don't know. The bamboo's cut slowly? Yeah. And now it's purging behind the printer, which is good. It's purging behind the bed, so I don't have to babysit it as much. Look at all the fancy colors of filament in the back of the printer. I mean, luckily with this setup, it's easy to swap the blade. Look at that purge. So it's actually working pretty good. You can't see, but the bed extrusion, so what's happening, it's purging. I'm gonna grab a purge. Yeah, so it's purging, and then when it goes to do the wipe, the purge is getting caught on the extrusion and pulled away. So it's actually working pretty good in its current spot. The only downside is I'm gonna have poop all under my bed. So, and it'll stop working once it's up high enough for it to not get caught. One second here. Case light on. And turn this one off. Turn that one off. There we go. Good thing I don't have inverted electronics. Yeah. My feet are freezing. Don't forget, at the end of stream, we are going to be doing a giveaway. So if you want your chance to win a spool of Polymaker filament, link in the video description. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, ring the bell, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And hey, if you want to help support the channel I create, content I do, consider becoming a channel member, a Patreon supporter, or if you're really cool, gifting memberships to others. Or you get to hang out when we do members only streams, you get access to special channels in the Discord, and videos early when I do videos. Okay, so this is going to be the test here. How do it cut? Okay, cut fine. That's fine now. Whew, the feet are freezing. Yep, silk PLA. But that isn't a thing about this. That has nothing to do with this. Remember, open source. This is just the VVD. All the VVD handles is filament swapping. Filament cutting is the tool head, and guess what? There's like 20 different types of tool head you could use. And guess what? They're all built by the user. So how do you critique it? How can you hold anything against the VVD for something the Jabberwocky's doing? Like, that's the problem with like reviewing this stuff. What's my temps outside? In the garage right now? The air, ooh. Okay, according to the Core 1L, it's 13 degrees Celsius in the garage. According to the Core 1s that are up higher, it's 18 degrees Celsius. According to the concrete floor, it's 8 degrees Celsius. According to my butt, it's 30 degrees Celsius. But I have a heater baking my butt. And my my street cred, if you're wondering, the Drift Cred 3D printed shoes are holding up with Drift Cred right now. If I decide to use multicolor, here's the thing, this is probably like the only silk PLA I have other than Polyalchemy Elixir. Like, I don't really like using silk filament. While they do have some aesthetics to them, which are nice, you have to print them slow for them to be shiny, which means you have to ensure that your outer wall speed is consistent throughout the print. Otherwise, you're gonna have changes in shyness. And two, the prints are structurally weak. Silk prints are not strong. They just aren't. So, yeah. I used to have a floor mat out here, but it got like so filled with stuff I threw it out, and I just haven't got a new one. So I gotta get a new mat. Tech chat in the Discord. Okay. Let's see here. This is extremely. Yeah, that's who is that in the Discord? Who is that? CC. How do you spell something? Catlet 1984. That's a very good point. That is a common thing in industry, that when you merge companies, usually like the CEO or senior staff have like a contractual obligation to kind of hang out for a certain period of time, and then usually they move on to something else. Not always, and it's not rule of thumb, but that is a thing in the industry. At the mold shop I worked at, after we got bought out, all the senior staff stayed on for exactly 2 years, and at the 2-year mark, they all popped smoke and left. Some of them actually did it a little bit early, and then it was funny because it was an American company that bought us. They tried suing them for breaking a non-compete clause, and guess what? Fun fact about Canada: non-compete clauses are illegal in Canada most of the time. They are extremely hard to actually prosecute in court because it violates your Canadian, what's it called? We don't have this, what's it called? It's like the freedom, what's the Canadian equivalent of like the Freedom Act, or what's it called? I can't remember what it's called in Canada, but you know, we don't have like amendments or any of that bullshit like you guys have, but we have like, what's it called? Charter of Rights and Freedoms. That's what it is, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Non-compete clauses violate your charter rights to gainful employment. So in Canada, non-compete clauses are extremely hard to enforce. So when like one of the guys left to go start his own mold shop, they tried hitting him with that and he just laughed at him. He's like, what the fuck? You guys can't do shit. So yeah, charter rights. Oh, we got all 4 colors are good. Heck yeah. So yeah, it was kind of funny. But yeah, that is a kind of thing in the industry that you'll see people after a takeover just kind of hang out for a bit. Woo! That's a nice rack you got there, Apula. I don't know what half that shit does. I literally just have a tower under my stairs in the basement with a generic AMD motherboard with like 4 or 5 hard drive plugged in running Unraid. That's my home network. Yeah, they're kind of bullshit. Like, I could understand a non-complete if you are working in like something super specific, cutting edge. Like if you work for like TMMC, right? Like TSMC or something like that. I can kind of understand a non-compete clause in certain areas of that. But if it's just like a job, yeah, that shit should not fly. Cable modem router, 10 gigabit connection. Like, what are all the cables connecting to? Why do you have so many? Like, what do all these do go to here? What are these all doing? What are they all doing? Like, what? Okay, top cable modem. Okay, I understand that. Router, 10 gigabit, like, okay. 2.5 gigabyte switch. But like, what is this to this, this to this? This is all connecting to like wall sockets. Oh, okay. I know that's a server. Okay, here we go again. I don't like the noise it makes when it cuts. I don't like the noise it makes when it cuts. I gotta clear out the poops. The poops are building up. Does it sound? No, it's just the sound of something shearing a filament. It's a not normal printer sound for me. So it's like, ah. It's the sound of snapping plastic, and it's like, shit, did something break? No? Okay. It's pooping everywhere. Is it pooping? Oh yeah, it is. It's just making a mess. Okay, I gotta clear the poop. I gotta keep an eye on the poop. The poop is building up. The poop is accelerating. How many changes are the blades good for? I have no idea. Does this add? No. It would be really cool if when you add the VVD, if it adds like a counter for filament changes to your history. I mean, they're not hard to replace. Most of these tool heads, you can replace them without having to disassemble much. You just like undo a screw, pull it out, swap the blade, put it back together. So just keep the blades handy, and if it starts to cut bad, put it this way. My Bamboo X1, I never changed the blade on it. But I don't print a lot of landfill, so I didn't really use it a lot. Like, it would be used once or twice a print usually. But I don't print a lot of landfill, so. Yeah, the Jabberwocky kit came with a bunch of them. So. AFC as a counter, my filament. Yeah, it depends too. Like, I'm sure if you were doing like a lot of like abrasive materials, like if you were doing a lot of carbon fiber, I'm sure the blade wouldn't last as long. But like cutting PLA and ABS, you're probably only worried about chipping. Chipping would probably be the only problem. Look how nice the poops are. Look how that is a very nice poop. I probably should get the proper... Is there supposed to be a proper print you're supposed to use to activate this? Because right now I'm literally just ramming it against the front right here. And I don't think that's the optimal way to actually cut it. I probably should have something properly pushing it. But for now... for now... And if you're wondering, it changes the color based on which one it's using. I'm a little disappointed my touchscreen isn't working right. I'm hoping it's just the cable. Swap out the cable and it works, hopefully, I'm hoping. MMU status command. I don't know. This isn't an MMU, it's an MMS, multi-material system. It's pooping. I forgot how long shit takes. F it. Throwing it in the bin. Going back to my Prusa XL. I missed my tool changer. You sent me some pictures that uses the plunger. Oh, you have a little plunger in the back there. Yeah, I probably should have a setup like this. The thing is, this one, it's lower. Like you can see the arm faces downward on this one, whereas on the Filamatrix faces upward. But yeah, I do need to get a setup like this. I do need to get a nice little setup like this for collection of the poops. So that is a nice little setup you got there. I probably should move the cutter to the back. Feet are freezing. Get the goose belt purger. I'll look into it. What I'll probably do, because honestly, I probably won't print a lot on this until Tuesday's stream. On the Tuesday stream, I'll print some stuff tomorrow and Monday. And then on the Tuesday stream, we'll set up the proper purge and all that shit. We'll enclose this and we'll do some multi-material or multicolor ABS stuff. That'll be fun. See how this works with ABS. Less travel. Yeah. Yeah, it's wasting a lot of time right now coming to the front. Like, is there Jabberwocky tool head? Is there a actual specific print for the Jabberwocky cutter? Like, or plunger? Is there like a STLs, Troron Trident mounting, tools, blade holder, carrot puller, Do they have a specific thing they recommend for activating it? When I asked, it just says you use the front idler. Okay. I mean, that's what I'm using the front idler. It's just we're wasting a lot of time. But I could easily... Oh, you know what? That would be a problem. Shit. Because whatever I stick out has to clear this. So it would have to like... No, yeah, I'm going to be stuck using the front. I'm going to be stuck using the front. Because you would have to have like... It would have to clear this. It would have... Whatever I use has to clear this. So I can't just like have this here. Yeah, that's a downside with this. You got to use the front. So yeah, it's got to come to the front to do it. I mean, it's mechanically it's fine. It's just time. The crossbow cutter. Yeah, I've seen that one too. The one that's mechanical. So purge to the front. I mean, then I got to figure out how to put a purge bucket in. Oop. We had it. Oh, what the fuck happened? We had a crash. And why am I... Okay, we had a crash and the screen turned off. Okay. That was a weird sound. Okay, home X. Home Y. T1. Try again. Why would the screen turn off? Yeah, the electric cutter that uses servo, yeah. Why did my screen turn off? It skipped a step and the screen turned off. What? Bad cable to the screen, yeah. No, the screen turned off the exact moment it shifted. It crashed. So it is definitely a an issue there. Cable loose. I think it's a bad cable. The servo is the snapping turtle. Is it? Oh, okay. Voltage spike. Maybe? Okay, so let's resume the print. Okay. Continuity test. It's a DSI. It's a ribbon cable. I mean, at least you can recover it when it errors out. Like, at least it's relatively easy to recover. You just rehome the X and Y, tell it to, because when it errors out, it'll tell you. So T1 begin. Oh, we errored out. Okay, so you just rehome it, fix whatever effed up, click T1, load T1, and then you just hit resume. You test the ribbon cable. I got new ribbon cables on the way. They won't be here till next week. So it's actually pretty easy to... Okay, it worked fine there. Might try a different blade. I'm wondering, it could be the blade could be getting caught on something, maybe? I'm wondering if it's just a break-in period. I'm wondering, because it's getting more reliable the more we're using it. So I'm wondering if there's just like a break-in period to it, where you just kind of gotta let it move a bunch, and eventually it'll just kind of break itself in. And, you know, it's like when you buy a new gun, you got to put a couple hundred rounds through it. I mean, you don't really have to, but that's what all the FUDs say. Caught on the bearing, maybe? Okay. I mean, the poops are really clean, though. Recalibrate distance. What do you mean recalibrate distance? No, the distance for the filament cutting is correct. That is fine. I did drop the speed from 2000 to 1500. I'm wondering if bumping it back up will... Yeah, let's bump it back up. Let's bump it up to 2000. See if that helps. I mean, I can't change it mid-print, but... But it's working. How much to retract before making the cut? All the purge can use. Yeah, the prime tower right now, all the values we're using are just defaults. So yes, the prime tower is way too much. The purge is way too much. Everything is way too much right now. But yes, you can dial in your values to make it more reliable. You're still gonna wanna do a prime tower, but you're not gonna be using a purge tower, okay? You still wanna use a prime tower with a single nozzle set. Even like an XL, you kinda wanna use a prime tower. You don't have to, but you kinda wanna make sure you're good. I don't have any prints in here because I got rid of a lot of the multicolor prints I had. But like, you don't wanna be doing prints where you're like, a print is ruined because a color bled through because you were stingy on your prime values, right? Or your purge values. So brutally honest about the VVD, it's one of the smoothest zero hero setups I've seen. The OG software was nowhere near ready. This is much closer thanks to all the tester, but needs more. Yeah, like I'll be honest, right now, the VVD is working great. All the issues we're having right now are just slicer settings that can use optimization and the cutter on the tool head. This has nothing to do with the VVD. This is its own thing. Like the VVD is working great so far. And yeah, the setup was much smoother than I thought it would be. Priming to an object. The problem is priming to object is the sunk cost fallacy of multi-material systems. Everyone who sees the problem at the beginning goes, hey, instead of purging to waste, let's just purge to infill. Okay, great idea. We're gonna save so much plastic. The problem is, shit, do I have one? I think I got rid of the bender. I don't think I have them anymore. One second. Let me see where, do I still have the bender? I think I got rid of the bender. Oh, I do have them. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay. So, prime to infill. This one layer right here on Bender has silver, purple, and if this was a 5-color unit, it would be green. Do you think you can fit the purge for 4 different colors in this much area? No, you can't. Maybe in this one area here where it's only purple and silver, you could fit the purge or the prime, but you can't here. There's not enough volume in the print. And none of the slicers are set up to even know of that. It's not like there's a setting where you can go purge to infill if the volume exists to purge to infill. or prime to infill. So, and here's the thing too. It doesn't matter if the purge is in the print or in the garbage. It's still fucking waste. Infill is nothing. Infill is such a small percentage of the mass of the print, like the actual like material volume of a print like this. So you're wasting the material either way. It doesn't matter if the wasted material is stuck inside the print or if it's in your garbage bin. It's still wasted. It's excessive material that didn't need to be created. That's the downside with these setups, is the single nozzle setups will always be horribly inefficient because you have to purge. It doesn't matter where the purge goes, it's purge. It is wasted material. Tool changers are better in every regard. The only downside of tool changers is they're more expensive, more complicated. Yeah, that's it. They're better in every other way than these setups. But these setups are great because you can just take this and throw it on any printer that has a filament cutter and runs Clipper. So these are easier to mass produce. They are more compatible with different setups. They're easier to bootstrap to. This is a 4-year-old printer we put it on, right? There's not many 4-year-old Crealities that you can put something like this on out of the box, right? So, or these are also great in a use case like what I will probably use it for, filament rollover, right? Especially on bigger printers. Once you get above 300, you kind of want filament rollover. So these still have valid use cases, don't get me wrong. Okay, they're much more economical. If you're running your Etsy landfill farm making flexi whatevers for people to buy at your local, you know, Value Village store or whatever, having a fleet of Creality or whatever Centauri carbons with 4 colors, yeah, it's an economical way to set up a mass production print farm for landfill, but it's not optimized. So these are good setups, but don't ever think they're better for multicolor printing than a tool changer. If you can rock the tool changer, that's the thing. Not everyone can rock a tool changer. Tool changers are, you can't build a tool changer anywhere near as cheaply as you can get a Centauri carbon with the AMS or whatever they call their multi-material system. You can't. You can't. So. You can stack objects to accommodate primary height. Yeah, there's all kinds of little tricks you can do to kind of like optimize it, but you have to like tailor each one to the specific print itself. Automatic film. Yeah, they have their use case, but like this machine, okay, let's be honest. A Bambu Lab P2S with the AMS unit right next to a Snapmaker U1. The Snapmaker U1 dances around it all day, every day, okay? The only downside with the Snapmaker U1, it's a little bit harder to enclose because you got to steal with that stupid top hat because you have to. But like once you can get a Core 1L with 12 index tool heads on it, how the fuck do you compete with that? We had another crash. Did it again. Did it again. Which tool was that? Tool 0. Okay. Home X. Home Y. Tool 0. Let's try this again. Now a cut. Yeah, the cutter's sticking. Filament changers are for older machines. Older machines and lower cost machines. And then, in my opinion, the Vortex system is just DOA. The Vortex system, hey, let's take, all the cost and the complexity of a tool changing system and add the requirement and the slowness of an AMS system. And then we'll send it to tech YouTubers so they can print shoes and run around and make a video on it. In case you haven't noticed, am I the only one that has noticed that Bambu isn't really sponsoring 3D printing content creators much anymore? And they've moved on to their new market of like tech YouTubers right now, like computer tech YouTubers. Has anyone else noticed that? Bamboo has kind of moved on to a new market to advertise printers too, and they're not really doing... I haven't seen a video with some of the big name YouTubers doing Bamboo stuff in a while, in our little realm. They bled our market dry, and they're looking for fresh pastures. They've realized, like, here's the thing. Everyone who's in 3D printing already knows about them. So why should we sponsor the creators anymore when we can go get some random guy who hawks LLMs on computers and get him to promote our stuff? Market saturation, exactly. That's why they love landfill. Bamboo wants you printing landfill all day, every day, because they make a lot of money on the filament too. That's why their multicolor system is so wasteful. They want you to use wasteful multicolor systems so they could sell you more filament. Okay, waiting for it to resume. Wish I knew why the screen turned off. I gotta get all that purge out from back there. As long as Bamboo does not pull an HP and lock down the filament, so you must... Dude, they have tried so many times over the years to lock their shit down more than it is right now, and every time they get massive blowback from the community. With how you feel about Bamboo, I'm surprised you do this. What do you mean with how I feel about Bamboo? I'm surprised I do this. What does that mean? Like, do 3D printing stuff? Or like multicolor stuff? Like, what do you mean? The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? Hot chocolate. Oh, I could go for a hot chocky right now. My feet are freezing. Ooh, that is a nice hot chocolate. Joke's on them. I've never bought Bamboo filament for my Bamboo printer. Yeah, but I guarantee you have, because their filament is white label. How you voice their multicolor system is for landfill. Oh, it's not their multicolor system is for landfill. It's just a lot of the stuff that they promote with it is landfill. Like, let's be honest. There's like two different types of 3D printing content creators. Those that do the more technical aspect stuff, kind of like what I do, where we build the printers, we build stuff with the printers, we design stuff, I do cosplay stuff on the side, electronic stuff. I really like building printers. They're fun to build. And then you have the people that just make fun little short form content with fast editing of look at this print, look how awesome this print is in the silky filament. Buy the printer with the link in the description and buy this super awesome filament. Okay, I'm done making the video. In the garbage bin. Like, let's be honest. The market for 3D printing right now, 90% of the people buying those printers are just printing landfill. They're printing random knick-knacky stuff that just kind of floats around the house for a bit till it collects enough dust to go in the garbage. What is a chocolate velvetizer? Going full Bamboo. Yeah, when it's not. I mean, to be fair, Bamboo has a very, very attractive affiliate program, and they compensate their top creators very well. So. There are technical teaching channels and whatever. All the educational channels for 3D printers have basically all died in the past 2 years. In terms of viewership, pretty much everyone I know in this industry that does like the more techie, educational oriented content has seen a massive downturn in viewership over the past year. Past year or two, actually. Yeah, everyone knows printers are for printing printer parts. If you're not using your 3D printer to print printer parts for a 3D printer so you can print printer parts, you're a tourist. You are totally a tourist. I'm joking. /S for sarcasm. Is it just the rise of easier to print printers? I'm going to attribute it to kind of that. Also, a good example is, it's going to sound weird, and it's not exactly the same, but gatekeeping. Back in my day, we're talking early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, the internet had a gatekeep. It had a wall. You had to know how to use a computer to get on the internet. You had to know how to actually use a computer, use a web browser, how to type, how to use a mouse. There was a barrier to entry to get on the internet. And then Apple came out with the iPhone and everything became an app that you just touch with your finger, and then algorithms started feeding you everything. And yeah, more people got on the internet, but the overall quality kind of dropped. I think 3D printing is kind of going through that phase right now. Same thing, FPV, same thing happened with FPV and a lot of other industries. When the industry starts off, there's that barrier to entry that you kind of have to know some inherent knowledge about the ecosystem to get into it. Tips and tricks, guides, tutorials. You had to know a bit. And then a big player comes in, throws a bunch of money down with a good product. Don't get me wrong, Bamboo printers are good printers, but they just round off all the edges and make it as easy to get into. But then you get, these are CNC machines. These are additive manufacturing CNC machines. The vast majority of people don't need one of these. Yeah, you tell people, oh, hey, when the knob on your dryer breaks, you could print a replacement knob. Okay, do you know how to do CAD? Do you have a set of calipers and dimension, like know how to measure stuff and CAD stuff? No? So you're gonna rely on what other people have designed. So at the end of the day, you're probably just gonna print a bunch of random shit off Thingiverse until you get bored with the printer. Like, do we have another failing? No, it's just purging. It's just the industry itself they're trying to force the industry to grow into a market that I'm not exactly happy that they're forcing that market to exist. Because at the end of the day, we're getting landfill. We're just getting people to make landfill. Like, I've gotten a bunch of friends into 3D printing over the years. Of them, only a couple still use their printers, and it's for when like their kid wants them to print a random thing for school or something. The majority of them stop printing after a couple months because you buy the printer because you saw your cool YouTuber friend buy you one. You print your Flexi Dragon, you print your baby Groot, you print that Iron Man helmet you're totally gonna finish for real. And then after a couple months, you just kind of move on to something else. So. And I'm actually really disappointing with the amount of like waste this industry is starting to create now. Like, again, I used to work in a mold shop. We went through hundreds and thousands of pounds of plastic a day thrown out. I barely recycle. I am not high and mighty when it comes to this. But when I see companies like, and creators doing nothing but just promote landfill with their printers, it's a little disheartening. But that's what sells. That's what sells. If the market didn't get chased, the innovation... I mean, don't get me wrong. Pumping money into the market and making this a bigger market has led to a lot of benefits. I just wish we weren't stuck with so many kind of... a lot of the downsides that we're building up to. Yes, the printers are getting better, and a lot of people are getting into additive, which means people that would never be experienced to this are getting experienced to that. And then the overall, I think it is an overall net benefit, especially to these companies' bottom lines. But at the end of the day, we're also dragging in a lot of people to this industry that are getting sold on the... It's like soda streams, bread makers. There's a lot of like random things, right? Air fryers, although I love my air fryer. You can tell there's a lot of industries that kind of like explode. Everyone buys one, and then everyone kind of realizes they didn't really need it to begin with. And unfortunately, I think 3D printers are kind of at that point. Go look on the Bamboo subreddit. You see pictures every day of people that have like, the print doesn't stick to the bed, and they're like, well, I don't know what's going on here. So. I can't CAD for shit. I can't CAD for shit. Although I will say these prints aren't exact. I think the individual parts aren't sticking together too well. I think we're having a little bit of a gap between the parts. You just ordered a soda stream today. I'm too young to remember when I had to buy a POMC and had no real use for it. I mean, besides piracy. We got our first family computer in 1999. It was a, I think it originally was a Pentium 2, and then we upgraded to a Pentium 3. It had the slot A. It was a Pentium, I don't remember what it originally had, but I know what it had when we got rid of it. It was a Pentium 3, 450, or 333? I remember I could overclock it. It was like the very entry-level slot A Pentium 3. It had 192 megabytes of RAM. I think we upgraded to like 320 megabytes of RAM. I think it had like 2 128 sticks, and then I found like a 64 megabyte stick I stole from a computer at work or at school. And it had a 12 gig hard drive and a Radeon 9200 Pro. And I still have the box for that in the basement. And then we had like a 17-inch CRT. I played the crap out of the original Call of Duty on a real tournament on that computer. BTT VVD? Yeah, BTT VVD. Yeah, this guy did a whole essay on Etsy. Oh, dude, it is so... I go out... I like going to farmers markets, arts in the park, stroll the streets. You know, there's a town near me during the summer. Every weekend they close down the main street and they have like little shops out. I love going to that shit. I love that stuff. It is so disappointing going to those and you see the same 5 booths all selling the same 5 things, all filled with Flexi Dragons and Flexi whatevers and Hue Forges, and they're all selling the exact same thing. And they all bought a Bamboo, and I talked to them because some of them recognize me. It's like the only place I ever get recognized. And it's like, oh, you know, I saw, you know, Bamboo was doing this, and you know, I bought a Bamboo because my friend was doing this, and it's like, you're all doing exactly the same thing. And you know what? You go to these things and you see the parents talk to them and they're like, oh, what'd you do? Oh, we had another crash. Parents are like, oh, where'd you get this? They're like, oh, it's a Bamboo machine. So, and the parents, instead of buying the kid the $20 Flexi Dragon, they go home and they buy the printer. And it's just a cyclical cycle. So eventually nobody's going to be buying the shit anymore because the printers are $199. Why would I buy this $20 thing every time I go to this show when I can just buy the printer for $200, give it to my kid, and my kid can do whatever until they get bored with it? T0 again. Okay, let's try T0. Okay, so home X, home Y, T0. There we go. I'm going to try swapping the blade out after this too. What is crashing? It's not cutting the filament properly. We're having, the only issue that we're having right now is the filament cutter. So I'm going to actually swap it out after this print finishes. Hopefully I still have my blades. Yes, I still have a bunch of the blades. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of these blades. So when the print finishes, I'm going to pull the cutter out and take a look at it. So. Is a great STEM learning tool. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. This has a valid use case for a lot of people. But I think a lot of people are buying it to make landfill. Or at least that's what they're being sold on. Not like, oh, hey, I'm gonna get this for my kid who's in high school, who's in like an engineering class and is learning CAD work, right? My brother got one because he does interior design, right? Design stuff for that shit. Like, or not my brother, I have a friend, my wife's cousin got one because they needed it. There are valid use cases for these. Even if it's just a hobby. Hey, you do FPV stuff and you want to print your own add-ons or holders for your stuff? Go grab one of these. Hey, you're into cosplay? Hey, go get one of these. You're into RC stuff? Go get a 3D printer. But just getting a 3D printer to get a 3D printer to print landfill, try and find a better use case. Unless you print a lot of toys for kids. Like, then again, my son loves puzzle toys. He loves fidget toys, so I print a bunch of those. So that is a valid use case for some people. So just don't buy it to buy it. Because again, yeah, it's PLA. This shit's going to a landfill. I keep pulling that out of the garbage. And yes, it's in the garbage. You had to up the run current. Can you set it to do a up the current? Because right now I'm running these at like 1.2 amps overall. I don't think they're overheating. Yeah, they're not overheating. Is there a way to tell it to up the current for cutting? Is there a way to do that? A macro or something? To just like up it to 1.8 amps and just go BAM! Call it a day. Wheelchairs? Wheelchairs. Oh, if you're involved with shoot, I don't have the link here. I can't remember what they're called. They do the assistive stuff. They print stuff for people that need like adapters because they like deformities or missing limbs or whatever. That is a super awesome use case for a printer, and I fully support that shit. Yeah, I know there's a command to up it. It just, I need to make it into a macro. But yeah, if you're using printers to print assistive devices for people, that is a super awesome use case, and I fully support that shit. But I'm just trying to say, this is like a bread maker. I was around in the 90s when everyone and their grandma got a bread maker for some reason. Everyone decided to get bread makers one year. And then all they did was just sit under the freaking cabinet. Oh, did it again. Okay. I'm going to try pulling it out and see if I can do it. Look at it right now. Is it? Yeah, I did it again. Okay, let's take a look at this. What time are we at anyways? Oh, it's 11:09. I want this print to finish so I can end the stream. We're going to be doing the giveaway once the stream ends, so if you haven't entered yet for your chance to win some polymaker filament, do it now. Okay, let me grab a, make this quicker. Ain't nobody got time for this. Also, AI generative model making is cancer. And any site that uses that as part of their site itself or promotes any like promoting that shit, oh hell dog, nope. Nope. That's a no from me, dog. Like, they're doing it because they need a way to get people to design their own models. Is there a top or bottom to this? No, I don't think so. No. Oh shoot, I wonder... This isn't sticking in here. I wonder if this is falling out. Like it's sticking to the filament. This is not stuck in here. Like, this is just... Oh, then again, it might be doing that because I broke the tab off when I yanked it out. It might be doing that too. Let me put a dab of super glue on this and put it in. Yeah, it shouldn't slide out. A new blade in there. Okay. Let's do this now. Okay, so what tool? So home X, home Y, T1. Okay. Is that blade dull at all? No, it's still sharp. It's still sharp. Any visible? It looked like there might be like a little itty bitty chip in the middle. Like you could see like a worn spot in the middle. But am I leaking? Nope. I think somebody donated something and I missed it during my little rant there. $2, Man of the Croc. Cheers and appreciate it. The current command in Discord. Okay. But yeah, that's like my biggest issue with the current trend of 3D printing. And it sounds like gatekeeping. I know it sounds like gatekeeping. But it's like, I really think they're trying to force a market to exist out of the need for more profit than the actual need for the market to exist. I think that's the easiest way to sum up my current thoughts on it. They're trying to grow the market just so they could sell more printers to people without really thinking of, do the people need printers? Like, let's be honest. While the quality of life features of modern printers are better than they have been in years, they're still printing the same shit. We're still stacking PLA on top of each other to print knickknacks, right? Barely anybody is using a printer to print, oh, I need to replace, you know, the knob on my dryer, or print, you know, a camera case or something like that. That's not the biggest use case of 3D printers right now. It is, they're marketing it as, you know, like, let's go. Let's look at Creality. Let's see what Creality is advertising their printers as right now. Okay, you got your desk in the middle of the room because everyone that keeps their printer there. A 3D printed football. Okay. A lamp. A test. Flexi shit. This is your cat. Okay. Landfill. Landfill. Okay, that's kind of cool, but niche case. Landfill. All these are landfill. Let's be honest. These are all landfill. What is this? Is it a light? That takes up too much room on my desk. Okay, so let's see what Bamboo's doing. Bamboo. Let's see what Bamboo is promoting their printers with. Landfill. Make your own coasters, okay. This is landfill. Like, yeah, it's okay. It's a little toy, but it's fucking landfill. Hue Forge. That's not a Hue Forge. They're little. This I like. I do like how Bamboo's doing these electronic kits. Those I like. Still going. Still going. Those I like. I do like Bamboo's little electronic kits. This is probably the closest thing to something I actually like companies doing. And it's Bamboo. Bamboo is doing this because it's like, we need something. I'd rather see more of this shit. This is the shit I'd rather see companies doing more of. Promoting their printers using STEM shit. Like stuff that you will actually get something out of instead of landfill. Okay, let's see what Prusa is doing, right? See what Prusa is promoting their printers with. Okay. Index update from Mickey. Oh, level up your 3D printing skills. The Borderlands stuff. I love the fact that they're working with gaming companies. Bed sheet. Ooh, that's a nice color, but the model cars, if you're into model cars, okay. Bit of landfill. Less landfill, though. The hexes are very efficient. Hey, it's Alan. 3D sets. Is this a 3D sets kit? That's a full-on model, though. Like, you notice how you're not seeing as much... This, no offense, this is really cool, and I love it. And I love what this guy is doing. But holy shit, that's a lot of landfill. But it's just funny looking at how Prusa's promoting their printers versus how Creality and Bamboo are promoting their printers. Like, the marketing approach is completely different because they're aiming at different markets. Prusa has their market, and they know their market. But like literally Bamboo Labs little STEM kits there are like the closest thing, or like the, out of all the ways you can promote your printer, I wish more companies did that sort of shit. Where it's like, hey, buy our printer, we'll sell you these little electronics kits and you can make shit with them, right? Like that's, I'd rather see that than flexi shit and landfill. The market is, the market has some, like honestly, the market is saturated. The additive manufacturing market for the home user is saturated because here's the thing, the tech hasn't really evolved. Yes, the quality of life features of a printer have improved greatly. But the actual things that the printers can do, my Voron V 2.1 that I built in 2018 can do everything this printer does. It's a little bit quirkier and may have a little bit more reliability issues, but there is nothing that that printer does that this one can do, or can't do, or however the saying goes, right? Like, that's kind of the thing. Filament has gotten a lot better. Slicers have gotten a lot better. Printers have gotten a lot easier to use. The technology has matured a lot, but there really isn't a lot new. The newest thing is the prevalence now of multicolor, which is just a lot of waste. Multi-material requires proper tool changers, because doing multi-material on these setups is horribly inefficient. In much of the world, PLA won't work in a car. You need heat-resistant materials, which are tougher to print. I'll be honest, printing ABS isn't hard. You can print ABS on pretty much, as long as you have an all-metal hot end, which pretty much... Does anyone sell printers nowadays without an all-metal hot end? Like, let's be honest, when was the last time you saw a brand new printer on the market that didn't have an all-metal hot end? If you have an all-metal hot end, you put your printer in a cardboard box, you can print ABS just fine. It's not hard to print ABS at all. You just need to put it in a box. Heck, I've done it in a closet. We already taxed to speed with its limits. Yep. You can only reliably melt, extrude, and re-solidify plastic so fast before you start getting diminishing returns. It's a reason you see printers moving fast, printing at low layer heights. You're not seeing people print stupid fast with a 1 millimeter nozzle at 0.5 millimeter layer heights, because you can't. You're flow capped. The amount of people saying you need a heated chamber. Zolis, it's blame marketing for that. You don't need a heated chamber to print ABS. Or actually, correction, let me rephrase that, because marketing has warped your fragile little minds. Guess what? All 3D printer chambers are heated. Class, for a gold star, who can tell me what this slab of metal is called inside the chamber of this printer? Who, for a gold star, for a shiny penny, who can tell me what this slab of metal is inside the chamber of this 3D printer? A heat bed? Exactly! It is a bed made out of heat. So this thing is hot and it's inside the chamber. I don't know about you, but I would say that's heating the chamber. Now you could be fancy. You could be even fancier, right? You can get little things. They spin really fast. They're called fans. You can use fans to take the heat coming from this and use it more efficiently and circulate it around the chamber. Nevermore system, or just do what Prusa did and just slap some fans underneath the heated bed. And they just go. Your chamber has a heater. It's called the bed. If you need to advertise that your printer has an additional chamber heater and you're still getting into the 50s, if your chamber's only getting into the 50s with a chamber heater, that just tells me your chamber sucks and you're leaking heat. Also, let me pull it up here because I seen it again today. Prusa with the Core 1L. Now, to be fair, their normal beds are PCB beds. But the Core 1L has a metal bed. It has a chunk of aluminum, okay? You know who I don't like? You know which company I don't like their beds? Freaking Bamboo. I don't know about you. This is Printing Perspectives. This is their H2C. Does every single Bamboo bed taco like hell after a little bit of use? What are they even? Are their beds PCB beds? Because they're not using, like, for a 320 millimeter bed, you should be having something solid. You need a solid metal bed. Like, their beds taco like shit. It is literally like they cheap out on the beds on every printer. Inefficient heating zones. The A1 series, the bed is literally just a heating element out of a freaking electric pot cooker or whatever that you would find in college. Like, their beds suck on Bamboos. They are not flat, and they warp to shit. Yeah, they use like a griddle. They're basically using a griddle element. Prusa bed, at least my Core 1L bed is flat. Like, you know, let me grab my scale and go look at it so I can actually, you know, not be talking out of my ass. Obviously, I don't have a camera, so you can't see, but holy shit, that's flat because it's a slab of aluminum. Which means also it dumps more heat into the system because it's a thermal heat sink. So it dumps a lot of heat into the system and it's more stable. And you can bleed off that extra heat to heat up your chamber. That thing gets to 55 degrees by itself in a garage that's 10 degrees Celsius. Behold! We have finished our print. So here's the thing, I didn't have any issues on this after we swapped out the cutter, but it's getting late, so I'm not gonna run another print. So we're just gonna throw a bunch of poop on here so I can take a picture. And then I will use the picture to show. And then open this up. Ooh. Oh yeah, I put extra magnets on the VVD lid so it closes better. There we go. Okay, cool. I will post pictures on the Discord. I'm not gonna run it. Normally I would run this print again to see if we fix the cutter issue with that, but it's getting late and I'm tired and my feet are freezing. But that went really good. We obviously have some stuff to work out. However, post it in the Discord. I think some people have already posted the filament or the charging thing in the Discord. The VVD, we had no issues with the VVD. Every issue we've had has been a tuning thing. We need to keep working on tuning, or just the filament cutter, which none of that has to do. Everything from here down has been the issue. From here up, it's been great. So, yeah, the VVD, that actually went, I'm not gonna lie, that went a lot smoother than I thought it would. I was a little hesitant. I was a little, what's going on here? At first, especially after the stream on Tuesday, where we ran into the issue with the firmware on the printer, and then Friday where the screen didn't work. I gotta figure out why the screen died. I think it's a bad DSI cable, because the fact that it's off, like the screen is off, and now it's on. Yeah, I think it's a bad cable. So I'll swap the cable. Yeah, we got this, the Clipper screen's working. It's just, I think the cable I'm using is just a bad cable. Yeah, the screen's coming back on now. The screen's on now. So I think it's just a bad cable. I think it's just a bad cable. Okay, let's do this giveaway. If you did not enter for your chance to win. Oh, yeah. Who did this? Carter, yeah. Yeah, it's just crap. It's just, I hate it. I hate it. I hate that's, and the problem is that's where the market's at right now. If you're a content creator in 3D printing, if you want to grow your channel, you need to print slop. And I hate it. I hate it. Because don't get me wrong, for some people that's fine. And if you like printing flexi stuff and whatever, all the power to you, but that's not what I like doing. And I'm not going to do stuff on my channel just to do stuff on my channel. I do the stuff I do because I enjoy doing it. I wouldn't stream 3 days a week for 5 years in a row if I didn't enjoy what I do. Actually, we're up almost on 6 years of streaming. Not all of it 5 days a week, but okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Link to sheet. Like right now, I'm in a binge of doing cosplay stuff. I want to build a cyber deck. I know they're dumb, but I want to build a cyber deck. You've had a bunch of issues with the build. What do you mean a bunch of it? With this? Well, none of it was like because of the VVD. The issues with the build were the first day. If you want to know the issues I've had, we tried installing it on this printer first on Tuesday. This printer that I built in 4 years ago that was running a Raspberry Pi 3, that the firmware was so out of date, it was giving me Python compatibility issues. So I said, screw it, we'll reinstall the firmware. We did that on Friday. Then we had issues with the screen because it was a Pi 3. So I said, screw it. So I threw out the Pi 3, we put a Pi 4, and guess what? Everything just works. Now the only issue we're having right now is the filament cutter, and it's stalling out. But that is some stuff we can faff around with in tuning. So the Jabberwocky, I like the Jabberwocky toolhead as a toolhead. I'm hoping I don't have to swap it for it. If I got to, I'll put an A4T in. If we run into issues with this, I'll swap it to an A4T with a cutter. But I want to get the Jabberwocky working first, or at least put enough hours on it to know, like, okay, if we are having issues, it is the Jabberwocky kind of thing. I don't want to write off the Jabberwocky right away. How many bots do we even have? How many names do we have? 255. Okay, bots. 255. Play. And head with a leaf cutter. Yeah, we'll see. No, the screen turned off during a crash, and the actual screen turned off and it wouldn't turn back on. So I'm building it. Is that with the Jabberwocky how we do it? Okay, how this works is if you win, you get a free spool of filament from Polymaker, but if I pick your ball and you win, you get a free hat. Who's this one on the side here? Ron James. If you win, you get a free hat with your spool of filament. Good luck. There are some niggly things when things get down and when the spools get under 30%. Oh, is that like a weight issue? I know on the AMS people put metal balls inside their spools so they have a little bit more weight. Jabber Poppy, okay. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to swap this with an A4T, let's be honest. It would not be hard to swap this with an A4T. Holy shit, Vlad is in the lead. Oh, going DH is going down. But basically the goal with this printer is get it set up to the point where it's basically like, we can test it with the VVD, and then if we want, we can swap it out to the box turtle and we can do A/B comparisons. Oh, I gotta move, 1 second. Oh, 1 second. Oh, where'd my, oh, I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. The whole point of having this printer set up is so that we can do A/B testing with different MMS units. Because if another company comes out with an off-the-shelf one, we have the box turtle we can play with. This gives us a standardized platform that I can just swap out multi-material systems on to try different things. That's kind of the idea. No, Papa! Oh, this is it. Oh, 3D, oh, no, who was that? Cameron Musson. Could have sworn it said 3D My Life. We go, for the record, because I could have sworn it said 3D My Life. The standard rule we use is whoever's on the top of the list. Whatever's on the top of the list is the winner. So Cameron, how do you supposed to pronounce it? Cameron Ramussen. The strained out the filament before loading comes up way more important as the spool gets used up. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. So the problem is though, how that will be, yeah, that's gonna be an issue. That is gonna be an issue if the spools get too rounded. Ramussen. Cameron Ramussen. There you go. Okay. There we go. Also, I got 2 big boxes of filament from LDO. So we're going to start printing parts for the Micron this week. So if all goes well, Tuesday's stream, we'll be printing some filament stuff for this. So we're going to be printing a brush and also a poop chute for this machine, installing it, doing more tuning and testing on this. And then while that is going on Tuesday, we'll also be getting stuff printing for the Micron build we're gonna be doing next. Because this is done, that means we're gonna move on to working back on the stealth changer again and building a Micron. So we'll be doing that. Okay, so let me fire off this email here quick and then we will call it. Turn that off. So I'm actually really happy with how that went. That went a lot smoother than I thought it would. The new manual that they have for the VVD is pretty good. So we're good there. The thing is, the biggest takeaway I can say, there is a barrier to entry to a system like this. It is not ever going to be turnkey because you're going to have to adapt this to whatever your setup is, right? Like depending on what you're using for the filament cutter, for the tool head, the geometry of your printer, there is the version of clipper you're running, like you're going to have to, there is going to be a higher barrier to entry to putting one of these on like a Voron or even like a Creality or any other printer that has a filament cutter. Because on paper, as long as your printer has a filament cutter in the tool head, you are running a clipper firmware that you can modify the firmware. So that means you can install packages and whatnot and macros. You can put this on it. So a Creality K1C, you could put this on a Creality K1C. It has a filament cutter and you can modify the firmware on it. At least I think it does. I have one in the basement somewhere. I should probably go take a look at it. But like, that is the advantage of a system like this. You are going to sacrifice a little bit of ease of use and quality of life. But on the upside, you're going to get a system that is more compatible and more adaptable. That has kind of always been the give and take when it comes to open source printers and that sort of thing in our little community here. You sacrifice ease of use, but you gain adaptability and the ability to customize and make it do what you want it to do. Don't tell me how to use my tools, damn it. I want to use my tools a certain way. I'm going to use them a certain way. So, Luke always said this is a prosumer level clipper user product, not for newbies. Exactly. There is a disconnect in the market and they finally stopped marketing it to newbies. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Like, I can see if there was a certain off-the-shelf model of printer that was very common that people were putting this on. Like, the Sovals, did the Sovals have a filament cutter? I can't remember. Like, say the Soval SV08. Very popular printer. A lot of people have them. If I could see if, say, like, they have a specific GitHub you clone that has everything pre-set up for that specific printer, and then it would become more plug and play. I could see setups like that if there's enough demand, but you're still gonna have to do some tweaking and tuning. It's still not gonna be off the shelf. It's still not gonna be plug and play. It's not meant to be a plug and play system. It's meant to be a plug in, calibrate, tune, set up, and play system. So, okay. Okay, we're gonna call it there. I'm freezing. Shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament we gave away this stream. Big shout out to BigTreeTech for providing me the VVD system that we're using here. Also shout out to LDO for the Jabberwocky toolhead that we have installed in this printer. I turned that camera off. Check them all out. Link in the video description below. I guess YouTube disclosure. BigTreeTech materialistically sponsored this stream by providing me the kit, but they're not paying me, and words and opinions are my own, blah 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 blah, etc. You know the drill. And for those that donate to the channel, gifted memberships to the others, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you. Would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create, without your continued support. You make it all possible. Check out the links in the description. Go buy some gamer subs. Use code Canuck. Save some money. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. I will see you in the future. Good night.